Okay, I'd like to call the Tuesday, October 7th, 2025 meeting of the Oxford Planning and Zoning Commission to order. The first thing will be the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Sarah Locke.
Joshua Dykstra.
Pizza Brass.
Dan Wall.
Pat Cotarella.
Carl Bouchard.
Jason Swan.
First item on the agenda is roll call. We don't need any alternates. Comments from the chair. I'm going to reserve and under other business, make some comments. Okay. Next thing is approval of minutes from 9/16/25. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the September 16th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Okay, we have a recessed public hearing. Z-25-87, 35 Oxford Road. Owner Jeremy and Emily Salvatore. 120 Main Street, Building D, Oxford, Connecticut. Applicant's representative is Martin A. Pasanti, 178 Bayview Avenue, North Pole, New York. The application for a special exception per Article 7, Section 3.3.13. The use is proposed veterinary hospital. The application site plan requirements of Article 11, Section 11.2.1 to 11.2.7. Good evening.
Martin Pasante. I think we've addressed all the comments from the town engineer. We've received the letter today.
Okay. Do we have those letters?
Yes.
Can we read them into the record, please?
Okay, I have two letters. The first is from the Oxford Conservation Commission, Inland Wetlands Agency, dated September 30th, 2025, addressed to Edward Hahn and Marty Pasanti, 120 Main Street, Building D, Evergreen Veterinary Clinic, Oxford, Connecticut, referencing the disposition of application IWWC 25-54, Ben Development, 35 Oxford Road. Dear Mr. Hahn, at its regular meeting on Tuesday, September 3rd, 2025, the Oxford Conservation Commission Inland Wetlands Agency made the following decision on your application, IWWC 25-54, Ben Development. Motion made by Commissioner Brian Smith and seconded by Commissioner Joe Lanier to refer application IWWC 25-54, Ben Development, 35 Oxford Road, map 35, block 80, lot 30. Proposed use veterinary hospital. Total size of the site equals 2.51 acres. Wetlands impact equals 0. Upland review area impact to be determined. Amount removed equals 0. Amount deposited equals 0. Back to the enforcement officer per town engineer, Jim Galligan's letter that states there is no direct impact to wetlands. All in favor voted 4-0. The permit expires September 23rd, 2030. Permit duration is 5 years. Additional extension must be requested prior to expiration. Please find a copy of the application, and if you have any questions, please call me at the office. By direction of the commission, Denise Randall. The second letter is from Nafis and Young Engineers, Inc., dated October 7th, 2025, addressed to Mr. Patrick Cocciarella, Chairman, Oxford Planning and Zoning Commission, 486 Oxford Road, Oxford, Connecticut. Reference 35 Oxford Road, Oxford, Connecticut. Dear Mr. Cocciarella, Nafis and Young Engineers, Inc. are in receipt of storm drainage report and plans for the above reference address. All of the comments in our letters dated September 8th, 2025 and September 16th, 2025 have been addressed. We have no further comments. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Sincerely, James H. Galligan, P.E., Nafis and Young Engineers, for the Town Engineer of Oxford.
Identify yourself and proceed.
Martin A. Pesante, architect. I will put, B&B has provided us. It takes all the water off the property, contains it on the property until, for a 100-year storm, and then takes it off the property into the anybody have any questions on the previous?
Anyone on the commission have a question for the applicant? Anyone on the commission have a question for the applicant?
I have
Go-
none.
Going out to the public, does anyone in the public have a question for the applicant? Does anyone in the public have a question for the applicant? Does anyone in the public have a question for the applicant? Hearing none, back to the commission.
None.
No question.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Next item is a new public hearing, Z-25-93, 86 Chester 3 Hill Road. Owner is John Neppel IV, Haley Neppel, Daniel Neppel, and Kathleen Neppel, joint tenants, Oxford, Connecticut. Applicant's representative, Don Smith Jr., P.E., 56 Greenwood Circle, Seymour, Connecticut. Application, re-subdivision of existing 8.9 acre parcel into parcels A and parcel B. Parcel A would be 8.0481 acres, and parcel B will be 10.9059 acres. We have 3 letters.
Are we setting a public hearing date or
What?
are we opening?
Okay, you have 2 letters.
And then we have a letter from
The 2 letters from Don first.
I have 2 letters from Donald Smith. The first letter is to the Planning and Zoning Commission from Donald W. Smith Jr., P.E., Consulting Engineer, date October 1st, 2025, referencing the re-subdivision and common driveway request for 86 Chestnut Tree Hill Road Extension. The proposed re-subdivision application submitted for this property is based on the use of the existing driveway to serve the existing and proposed lots. The parcel has been purchased by family members with the intention of creating a family compound. The driveway ordinance allows a common driveway to serve 2 lots, subject to the granting of a variance by the Board of Selectmen. The record subdivision map includes the appropriate covenants for joint use and maintenance, with the proposed house location immediately adjacent to the existing driveway. The use of the existing paved driveway has a number of advantages, including being the most practical and cost-effective solution to provide access to the proposed parcel, also providing a negligible amount of disruption impact to the environment and adjacent wetlands with the installation of one widened passing area. Also, the current driveway provides adequate sight lines on Chestnut Tree Hill Road extension. We trust this request will meet with the town's approval. Please feel free to contact me with any questions you may have regarding this matter. The second letter is also from Donald W. Smith Jr., professional engineer, consulting engineer, to the Planning and Zoning Commission, dated October 7th, 2025, reference re-subdivision and common driveway request, 86 Chestnut Tree Hill Road Extension, Oxford, Connecticut. The applicant and owner of the above referenced proposed re-subdivision respectfully request the commission grant a waiver to the open space requirements of the subdivision regulations. As it has been previously indicated, the parcel has been purchased by family members with the intention of creating a family compound. Also, pursuant to Article 8, Section 1.2.10 of the subdivision regulations, the commission may waive the requirements for open space or payment in lieu of for subdivisions and re-subdivisions of 3 lots or less. We trust this request will meet with the commission's approval. Please feel free to contact me with any questions you may have regarding this matter.
Okay. The intent of the public hearing, to have the...
I have 2 more
You have 2
letters.
more? Oh, okay, sorry.
I have 2 more letters. This letter is from the Conservation Commission, Inland Wetlands Agency, to Mr. Donald Smith Jr., professional engineer, consulting engineer, from the Oxford Conservation and Inland Wetlands Commission, dated September 2nd, 2025, reference IWWC 25-39, John Nepple, 86 Chestnut Tree Hill Extension. Dear Mr. Smith, the Conservation Commission Inland Wetlands Agency has approved the above application for subdividing a property at 86 Chestnut Tree Hill Road Extension into 2 residential lots. The property has extensive coverage of wetlands. Adding an additional driveway would cause unnecessary activity in a regulated area. The application has shown a common driveway can allow access without wetland impact. The Inland Wetlands Commission recommends to the selectmen to grant the common driveway. This is the most prudent and feasible alternative. By direction of the commission, Denise Randall. I have a letter from Nafis and Young Engineers, Inc., dated September 8th, 2025, to Mr. Patrick Cocciarella, Chairman, Oxford Planning and Zoning Commission, 486 Oxford Road, Oxford, Connecticut. Reference 86 Chestnut Tree Hill Road Extension, Oxford, Connecticut. Dear Mr. Cocciarella, Nafis and Young Engineers, Inc. is in receipt of a 2-lot subdivision plan at the above referenced address. All of the zoning requirements are in compliance for both lots. A final site development plan for parcel B will be required prior to issuance of a building permit. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Sincerely, James H. Galligan, professional engineer, Nafis and Young Engineers, Inc., Town Engineer of Oxford. That's it.
Okay. The intent of the public hearing is to have the applicant and/or his authorized representatives present to the commission and to the public all information that is necessary or pertinent to the application, to hear questions from the commission members and/or staff relevant to the application for the applicant's response, to hear questions and/or input from the public relevant to the aspects of this application only, including comments in favor of or opposed to the application, general comments or questions which are fielded by the chairman to the applicant for response, if appropriate. Those people wishing to speak are requested to sign in with the commission on the sign-in sheet for the secretary. Those who wish to speak may do so upon recognition of the chairman, upon stating their name, address, and interest in the application. All speakers will be allowed a reasonable opportunity to be heard. Speakers may not speak again until all others have had the opportunity to speak. Is there any conflict of interest on the commission?
Joshua Dykstra, no conflict.
Pizza Brass, none.
Dan Wall, none.
Pat Cozzarella, none.
Carl Bouchard, none.
Jason Swan, none.
Simon Rosa, none.
Does the applicant feel anyone on the commission has a conflict of interest?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, do we have the appropriate notifications and the like? Okay. All right. Guess we're good to go. Don?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. For the record, Donald Smith Jr., professional engineer with an office at 56 Greenwood Circle in Seymour. I'm here tonight with Kathleen Nepple, one of the property owners and applicant, as well as her husband, John Nepple. The other three property owners, which constitute their sons and daughters, are not here tonight. So before I start, there was communications. There was also a communication from Housatonic Valley Health District for subdivision approval that was attached. No? The application for subdivision has been reviewed by the health department. I thought that was attached to the applicant.
Let us read this in the record, please.
You want me to read it?
Yes.
This letter is from Jeff Andrews, Senior Sanitarian of the Housatonic Valley Health District, dated August 19th, 2025, to the Oxford Planning and Zoning Commission, 486 Oxford Road, Oxford, Connecticut, reference 86 Chestnut Tree Hill Road Extension, Oxford, Connecticut. Dear Commissioners, the Housatonic Valley Health District has reviewed a plan dated May 6, 2025, revised August 1st, 2025, for the above-mentioned address submitted by Donald W. Smith, Jr., professional engineer. The plan is to divide the property into two new residential lots labeled Parcel A and Parcel B. Parcel A, Lot 1, has an existing four-bedroom home with an accessory garage with apartment above. The existing septic serving these structures is shown, and 100% code-complying septic system has been demonstrated. The parcel also has an existing well, which will remain in use. Parcel B, Lot 2, shows a proposed four-bedroom dwelling with a primary and reserved septic area. A proposed future well location has also been located on the plan. Based on the soil data and design parameters on the submitted plan, the Housatonic Valley Health District recommends approval for planning and zoning purposes only. The septic systems shown are general concepts and are not to be taken as approved designs. Detailed plans will be required prior to the issuance of any permits or approvals. Sincerely, Jeff Andrews, Senior Sanitarian.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Again, for the record, Donald Smith Jr. So we're here tonight for a re-subdivision of a parcel that was formerly identified as land now or formerly of Albert Sorrentino Sr. And the Mary D. Estates. Mary D. Estates was a subdivision from the late 1990s. They created a number of lots around the perimeter of this parcel. The 18.9 acre parcel was the remainder of the subdivision, was the family lot at that point in time, and it was not put up for subdivision. Again, this is outlined in green, is a 18.94 acre parcel. Chestnut Tree Hill Road extension is over on the left side of your drawing. The Echo Valley Road right-of-way is on the right-hand side of the drawing. And from our property line to the Echo Valley Road cul-de-sac is about 365 feet to the east. And from about 125 feet from our property line to the end of the gravel section on Echo Valley Road. So coming in from Echo Valley Road to the proposed house site is a driveway of about 1,265 feet versus the driveway coming in using the common driveway from Chestnut Tree Hill Road extension would only be about 700 feet. The gray shaded area on the drawing here represents the common driveway easement that would be shared between the two lots. Parcel A, which is the road front lot fronting on Chestnut Tree Hill Road. Parcel A is 8.05 acres, 1.88 acres of dry contiguous area. It's got a 3-bedroom house on it. It has an ADU over the garage, and the driveway is completely paved all the way through the property. The parcel B, okay, is the proposed lot, is an interior lot, okay, totaling 10.9 acres with 8.05 acres of contiguous drive. Common driveway easements is a proposed 4-bedroom house, and again, with the common driveway to be shared with the road front lot of 86. Pursuant to the request, one of the communications are proposing a common driveway, reusing the existing driveway. It's an existing paved driveway. It has very good grades to it. It has good sight line out at the intersection. The remainder of the frontage along Chestnut Tree Hill Road is down below the road with a number of wetlands that would prohibit any access from Chestnut Tree Hill Road into the property. So really the only way to access this is going to be from Chestnut Tree Hill Road extension. The interior lot meets your definition. It's behind the current road front lot. Both parcels are served from the same road. So that meets your definition of common interior lot. Also requested the open space waiver. 3.8 acres of open space, or 20% of the parcel being dedicated as open space, would severely impact the interior lot rectangle that is required for the interior lot, and would basically would not be able to meet the requirements for the interior lot or the definition of the interior lot being behind a road front lot served by the same, off the same street. So the proposed house, okay, this is the record subdivision map. So the proposed house shown on the site development map, but the proposed house is going to be kept up close to the existing house. Meet proper setbacks. Both houses meet proper setbacks, but intention of the applicant is to, again, create a family compound with mom and dad and their children. The septic system for the new house goes down a little bit further down in the back, but per the communication from Housatonic Health District, we have identified a suitable septic area down in the back. Know that wetlands requires a detailed site plan for application or for building permit purposes. Then we have to go to the Board of Selectmen for the common driveway or variance. I think that's about the size of the subdivision and where we are. Requesting the waiver and the common driveway variance.
Does any member of the commission have a question or comment for the applicant? Anyone? Going out to the public, does anyone in the public have a comment or question for the applicant? Does anyone in the public have a comment or question for the applicant? Does anyone in the public have a comment or question for the applicant? Hearing none, back to the commission. Anyone?
I guess my only comment would be that the common driveway seems to make a lot of sense. I mean, on here, Echo Valley Road jumps out. I'm glad he explained that thoroughly. That would be a tremendous amount of disruption to get there to the house. So I think it aligns. The only question would be the waiver for the open space. Makes sense what he says, but probably worth a discussion at some point. Looks pretty straightforward to me.
I have a question. There's two buildings on this, what'll become the second lot. What are those?
Buildings, the outbuildings. So this property used to be Sorrentino Well Drilling. So there's an old metal industrial building down in the back here. That was part of that business. Empty building right now. There's no use for it. Proposed to be storage. And then, not sure, did you say two buildings? And then there's a small shed.
Well, it says
garage.
50 by 50 next to the,
Oh, that's your interior lot driveway turnaround area.
the little square?
50 by 50 turnaround for driveways over.
Yeah, I'm just, okay, I would
It's not a
expect to
building.
see it.
It's a
Yeah,
pad.
It's a pad, got it. It's hard to
The
see.
ordinance,
huh?
actually, the ordinance says 50 by 50, but.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna start needing a magnifying glass. Anyone else have any questions? Anyone? Sir?
Pardon?
Anyone else, staff, any questions, comments?
I've seen recent similar setups.
Because when Mary D. Estates was created, it was numbered like 1 through 6. So I didn't want to pick up from there. It could have been labeled 1 and 2. A and B.
Anyone else?
Last question, the waiver on the open space? The waiver on the open space?
What do we want to do with that? Do we have any concerns, questions?
The amount of wetlands here, I don't know if there'd be a huge amount of concern. There's a lot of property here that just gonna have to be left alone to its.
There's supposed to be a, if there's no open space dedication, it's supposed to be fee in lieu of. That's They're asking for a waiver of both.
Few years back, we had the same problem with
Yeah, something like that. There you go. Well, the money goes into the open space purchasing fund. Is what happens. That's specific. That's where it goes. It doesn't go into the general fund, it goes into that fund. Anyone else have any thoughts on this they'd like to share, please?
how much would it be in cash?
Huh?
How much would it be in cash?
I think it's around 7, give or take.
Lot?
Yeah. That's a lot. No open space to be had here. Yeah, but do we want wetlands? Yeah.
Is it up to the commission to decide how much open space to get?
There's numbers, I don't know off the top of my head, they're in the regulations.
20%,
Thank you, Don.
20% of open space land. I'm not sure on the fee in lieu of, if it's still 20% of the fair market value, but it's 20% of the land area. About 4 acres. 3.8 acres. Basically is from the back of this secondary building, this whole square back here. So it's a significant part of the parcel. It cuts off that access to Echo Valley Road. There is Town of Oxford open space along this property that was part of the Echo Valley Road subdivision. And then further to the there's open space from the Tall Pines subdivision. So both of those subdivisions have protected that slope there. So if required, we would be looking to attach to that. But again, the 4 acres of open space, that which is
I'm looking at those contour lines, the thing is close to straight up.
very steep slopes here, yes. Not buildable, not readily buildable. So I don't think we have to worry.
Kevin, any thoughts on this? On that basis, what do you think?
It's a good point that you make, right? I think I'd be open to that discussion. Are we looking at closing this tonight, or?
I'd like to. I don't see any reason to keep it open.
I agree, I like what council has said, and I think it's a good idea to waive it.
Carl?
I agree with waiving it. I don't think it makes sense to.
Oh, we have a, so, then I guess that we can, so then, I entertain a motion to close this public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion, we have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. Thanks. Steve.
Thank you.
Okay. Where are we?
Amendments to the
Do you
agenda.
have any amendments to the agenda? Do we have any correspondence?
I don't believe so.
Okay, next, audience of citizens. Does anyone in the public have something that is not on the agenda that they would like to speak to? Does anyone in the public have something that is not on the agenda they would like to speak to? Does anyone in the public have something they would like to speak to that is not on the agenda? Hearing none, moving on. We have no old business. We have no new business. We have a zoning enforcement report. Next meeting, I would think, yeah. Eight 24, yeah. COVID, right. I don't know what, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I showed you, you can't even.
I have a question. The property you're talking about is the church on 67 there? Did that go to a public hearing?
See, I don't know what happened was during COVID, so there was all kinds of state statutes on that. I'm not sure what happened. I think during COVID, you could just do like a virtual or some type of vote with just the selectmen, but I don't.
They waived all those public things that they went to the, what do they call it, the phrase? The authority, the board of selectmen or mayor or whatever in the particular town could make the decisions without it going to a, public town meeting. Thank you. That's the phrase I couldn't think of. So,
George swapped the properties? And we gotta live with it?
no, it's not done yet.
Well, it's the Board of Selectmen.
Right.
It's not just one person, it's the Board of Selectmen.
So it's not George.
Well, it's the three of them.
Yes, the board got together with.
Right, and they're proposing this land swap.
Opposing it. It didn't go through it.
No, it's,
You have to sign it, you have to
we have to sign it now.
I don't know, do we vote?
Why don't we take a look at it at the next meeting? Yeah, we're not, get full-size maps and so on. Because if this was any indication, it wouldn't mean a thing to me. I don't know about anybody else. Yeah.
Were they not in here like 10 months ago? Tied to a proposal where the proposal did not meet our regs and they withdrew and were going to come back? How is that related to the land swap?
From what I understand at this point, the land swap has been taken out of that other application. It's a standalone land swap at this point. I think we need to get a lot more details, and we'll get that for the next meeting. Yeah, because too many things are vague at this point.
The land swap discussion was during COVID and this was definitely post-COVID.
So, yeah, I think we should take another look at it.
I have a 800 square foot
Okay, next meeting, yeah. All right, that's it for you? Okay, we have no invoices and other business. Discussion with possible action on correspondence from the Board of Selectmen regarding a moratorium on development along Route 67. Does everybody have this document?
Yes.
Any discussion?
How is this gonna affect the veterinarian hospital?
That application is already in the pipeline.
Well, this is only for multifamily apartment complexes too, residential. Where's Dodge?
In effect, it's the study would provide necessary data recommending the guide responsible and informed land use decisions. Doesn't specify housing.
Just in the first line, particularly multifamily complexes. I mean, I find it to
Oh,
be,
particularly.
I find it to be a bit on
It says
the
on new development projects. So that's the general,
sort of, it seems a little vague in my opinion. But I also think it sort of is a lot of the discussion we've had around the flexible zoning options, I'll say, and not limiting to PDDs, but maybe some other options that fit us well. It seems to sort of tie to our recent conversations very well. I don't know if there is a mechanism, and maybe we ask our attorney, is there even a mechanism to enact a moratorium of some kind in this nature? I don't know, honestly.
but there's,
From what I have found is we certainly have the right to do it. There are some caveats to it, including what you mentioned in terms of vesting rights. If there was an application to act that. I think there is some justification to at least consider it. I would like some parameters set in terms of having the moratorium timed, defined to something like a review of our zoning. I think, I have my notes here, but I'm going back to it, but I think if we tie it to zoning, and I think I've read as well, it does need to go before a public hearing. Well, fine, I think there's some justification to consider it and put it to a public hearing.
I think, Jason, you make an,
From what I've read, any change to the statute would have to go before a public hearing.
And I think that's an excellent point. It should be tied to something, right, that puts an action on our part, whether it's addressing our plan, our regulations, it's adding flexible zoning or something, but yeah, something that isn't just unending is a great point. And I think the other problem in this too is there's a talk about doing traffic studies, DOT. We all know the problem areas are the state regulated roads. And I think it's sort of, it's on the onus of our state rep to go back to DOT and advocate for these studies because they're clearly not listening to the town. So, State Rep Jensen should be going and advocating for this, right, to get that study done because we've been talking 67, 188, 34 are problem areas when we're talking about this specifically. This is, again, not very specific, this is vague, but it is asking for that a traffic study be conducted. That's it, and that's the end of what it's saying here. But you're asking for that to be done on roads that we don't really control well, and we have not, there is no control over it in our purview. It's the state DOT that should be conducting these, and we're gonna need some intervention on that from the state level, right? So that's what I think our representative is there for, to advocate for us and for the
I
town.
think we just should put this aside, get the more information. It's not something that we should just jump into. I don't think.
What more
you know,
information?
I mean, just in passing, building apartment buildings on 67 violate not only our regulations at this point, but our plan of conservation and development. So, this is all part of that has to be fixed, right? It's not that it's broken, it's just that it's not adequate today. Jessica?
Just point of clarification, it's not what Commissioner Dykstra wants. Oh, no. It is what's in this letter to us from the Board of Selectmen saying that they want this done. So I'm just saying that to the attorney's point, it's far more complex than just saying I want, right? So, yep. So that but is not what I'm asking for, it's just, it's what's in here. Yeah,
What I'm
agreed.
saying is that we need a lot more information.
Right.
Yeah, so there's nothing we can do with it tonight, that's my point.
Well, we're discussing it, which is good.
Yeah.
No, the wheels of bureaucracy move too slow for
No,
me
I,
sometimes.
no, and they do, because when we got the letter, I looked at it. Because number one, there are so many. So I'm not, like, in my first initial thought was that. Then I did a little research. I shared with Kevin. Kevin saw this for the first time tonight, and that's on me, because I didn't really want to. Because it was too complicated.
Did you research like the other towns?
So the first thing that has to be done is a traffic study. According to the letter, they're asking for a traffic study because they got a letter about the traffic, right? Arnie has assured me that they have requested a traffic study be done for that. Okay? But then you can't just go, oh, we're going to do a moratorium on development and housing and, you know, egg stands on 67. That's one part, it's a traffic study. That can be done simultaneously. Then you also have a moratorium on development and a moratorium on housing. So those are different things, if I read it correctly, Kevin. And I literally like researched it and threw it in a document today. And I did email type. But I gave it to Kevin to review first.
If there's a moratorium on any type of says
Fine.
You have to contact the department, you have to ask the Department of Housing.
Excuse me, isn't that a different moratorium?
That's a housing.
That's a-
The
but-
housing one.
But this is not a general housing one for the entire town, it's only on this specific strip of land. Right? A moratorium, the other moratorium, the housing moratorium, would be for the entire town. Yeah, yeah. But I think that, you know, this needs a whole lot more research. This is not something that's gonna happen in the next 2 days. If we get applications and now we process them the way we're supposed to process them. But, you know, look,
isn't that what we don't want to happen?
I don't say that. Does this commission not want something to happen? I don't understand that,
No,
no.
and I would ask this
None of
too
those
of the
people are
of the attorney.
predisposed.
And I'll ask this of the attorney too, right? So I don't know that there is teeth here regardless. If a application comes forward and they're bringing forward an affordable housing application and we say, sorry, there's no moratorium, I'm sure that you could speak to that will probably go in front of the court system and I don't know if it could hold up. But I'll defer to our attorney to say whether that is, if I'm speaking out of line here. Right. Okay. Right. So,
Yeah, the one thing I want to make clear is that no member of this commission is predisposed one way or the other
correct.
about housing
Right.
or any other issue that comes before this commission. We listen, we deliberate, and we make a decision. We don't go into it predisposed. Because that's why each time an application comes in, we ask if there's any conflicts of interest. So to say that anybody on this commission is predisposed, I think is a disservice to the commissioners. Okay.
How far does the traffic studies go back here? How far back does the studies go, traffic study?
The church one is probably from 21 or 22.
I dug this up. 2019 is the 10 most deadliest roads in Oxford. And it gives you a rundown of how many accidents happened on, 67 is the worst, it was 268. 34, Route 67 was 268. Now, this is in a 4-year period. 34 was 67, 188 was 63 accidents, these are the 42 was 32 accidents, 29 was unknown. Great Hill Road was 22, Christian Street was 20, Governor's Hill was 18, Riggs Street was 18, and Park Road was 14. So these are all the accidents and dangerous roads in Oxford are 10. So we're going to compare the study of 2020, and this is 2019, 5 years.
And anecdotally, we know the traffic has increased substantially over the last couple of years.
It's going to get worse.
So, these are things that have to be considered. And I think that, again, it just needs a lot more thought. In fact, my thing I want to talk about tonight has to do with a lot more thought into things. Once we stop talking about this. Are we done talking about this? Next step, I think, is get the traffic studies, get all the information, so the commission can make an informed decision.
Can we get an update on Arnie's status?
And then, right, we got to hear from Representative Jensen. We have, there's a lot of stuff here. And I don't think that we can just do it and hope it works. This is
Finding out what actually you were asking.
Carl.
The letter is very, general, okay?
Yes.
But in a way, it's specific. It says a moratorium on new development projects. That's all-inclusive, as I read it.
That's the way I
Hear
read
it, understand it, and in particular, multifamily apartment complexes. But that's a subset. That's covered under new development projects, okay? Now, does he mean any new development projects? This public hearing we closed tonight on the veterinary hospital, I would consider a new development project. It's small. Would it be
If it
prohibited
came-
under
if
the
it-
moratorium as it's described here?
If it came in now, maybe.
I'm saying if it came in after.
After. Yeah.
I'm just using it as an example. There are unintended consequences to whatever we try to do, somebody's gonna get, shut out, And, I don't know, we just need to be very careful.
Yeah. Any last comments on this? Anyone? Okay, hearing none. Okay. Is there anything else anyone else wants to bring up under other business before I talk?
Yeah, I guess because we have one meeting and then we have election coming up, did we want to preemptively cancel or did we already cancel the November 4th? Is this not the first time I'm asking this? I don't remember.
Didn't we do a reschedule?
We rescheduled, we're supposed to have a meeting next week
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
I just didn't know if we needed to vote that. It'd be better, it'd be,
And if we need to, we could have a special meeting between the 4th and the 17th. Because the new commission does not come into effect until midnight of the 17th. Okay, regardless of the results of the election, this commission is still seated until midnight on the 17th. So we can always, if there's something that's that important, we can call a special meeting between the 4th and the 17th.
yeah, I just didn't want us to wait till the last minute to cancel the 4th if we needed to. Could not remember if we already voted on
I
that or
thought we
not.
had already rescheduled yeah, I guess next week. Yeah, that's to compensate for the missing meeting.
Seeing as we have no public. I just don't like putting agenda. Action
We have any public meetings next
No
week?
public hearing, so
Public hearings, that's what I was trying to say.
There's no public hearings, so it'd be just administrative work, so to speak. Unless something comes in tomorrow. You know. Well, let's keep it on the, you know, on the agenda for next week. And then if nothing comes up and there's nothing to do, then we'll cancel it. Right? If there's something to do, we'll come and do it. Not, we'll cancel it. But we don't have to do that tonight either. Yeah, right, we can order pizza. What the hell? Anything else? Then it's my turn. Okay, this is a story. Okay. Years ago, the state came up with an idea called for the incentive housing programs. Okay? Sounded like a great idea. It was a something to make the idea of affordable housing more palatable to the towns. So it was kind of like, much as I hate to use the term because it's an oxymoron, but it was called like a friendly A30G. Okay? Well, Oxford jumped right on that bandwagon. Hey, why not? This looks like a good idea, right? And there's all sorts of details in there and everything else, but it was very beneficial to the town compared to the regular 8-30G regulations. So, the town of Oxford did this whole thing. It actually would have been Chapter 124B in our regulations. We spent $50,000 and 2 certified planners to write this, all of 14 pages. Right? After the Planning and Zoning Commission got through with it, it moved on to the Board of Selectmen. And OPM had to have the Board of Selectmen's signatures to make it work. Then there was an election in between. By the time we finished this, and it was going to go to the Board of Selectmen, there was an election. So the Board of Selectmen changed. Aside from the commission, the Board of Selectmen changed. Right? But this was already in the pipeline. The new Board of Selectmen said, nope, don't want it, don't need it, we shouldn't have it. Well, I was outraged because the commission had spent months, many months, putting this together and the like. And I wanted a fire pit to hell to open up in the parking lot and the whole Board of Selectmen to fall into it. Well, years have passed, and a couple of towns did implement it, and then the state reneged. So all my outrage and all, the Board of Selectmen made the best decision. Because the state reneged on the deal. So it no longer was a good deal for the town. And a couple of towns, I know at least one, maybe a couple of others, who did this, got stuck holding the bag. So the takeaway in my mind is that take the time to really go in depth and look at the big picture with any of these things. Because you say, wow, it's a great idea, it looks good. But you don't see the possible fallout, especially when the state legislature is involved. So we spent 50 grand for nothing. And they were right, and I was wrong. And that's the point. Because like I say, I was outraged that the Board of Selectmen had the audacity to do this. And they were right. Because if we had gone ahead with it, we'd have been left holding the bag the same way these other towns were. So, that's my words of wisdom for tonight. Look at the big picture. What's going to happen? Your responsibility, our responsibility, is first to the town of Oxford, not outside influences, not others. It's to the town and its citizens. Hopefully, those of you that are running for election will get on this board and understand that those outside influences don't count. The people here in this town, that's your priority. That's my thoughts of the evening. You probably get one more of those. What? Yep, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I believe that on file would be if anybody really wants to look at that incentive housing program. I believe there's probably in the office.
I happen to find it the other day too, while I was keeping files around. I remember that.
So if anybody really wants a copy and to read through it, just go have a copy for her. But it just, think long, hard, and broadly. Because it's real easy. Like I say, we worked months. I thought it was going to be great, and I was wrong.
Is that when you got your ethics?
What?
Is that when you got your ethics?
That's part of, that's part of my,
Talk about the bag.
yeah, that was part of my, that's part of when I got brought in, to the Board of Ethics. Yeah, that was,
And look, you're still here, so.
that brought that complaint on it. Oh, well. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.